Alright guys, I'm going to start off with a little warm up here. This is something I like to do before we're doing any sort of body weight exercise. Really pretty much anything where you're going to be using your upper body. So I like to start with a little bit of rolls right here. Kind of switch the direction, change how you're doing it, put your elbows in, elbows out, kind of changes it up a little bit, kind of give you a little stretch right here. Now you really want to stretch your wrists both directions too, so kind of see how I'm doing it both directions right there. Kind of turn your elbows into it a little bit. I know it's really hard to see on the camera, but you can kind of turn that in right there. Kind of changes the angle, kind of changes the stretch on those forearms. Because really your wrist flexibility has a lot to do with your, how tight your forearm is, more than anything, the musculature in there. So kind of just work that for a second. Like I said, kind of go like that, kind of turn those elbows in, really lock out that arm. Grab those fingers right there, and just twist it right over. Kind of really gets that stretch right up in there is where I'm feeling it. Get those elbows, get little circles. One direction, reverse it right here. I'm going a little bit faster, but if you're a beginner and you're just kind of starting off with this, what you want to do is you want to just take it real slow right there. Boom, boom, right here. Then when you're reversing, straight, basically making loops with your hands. You want to kind of take your elbows to that range of motion. And then as you kind of go, you'll be able to speed it up like that. Right, work on those shoulders a little bit now. I'll take my hands right here, feet flat, abs always tight. Right up your head, just like you're throwing a soccer ball in from the sideline, right there. Do a few of those, maybe 10, 12, something like that. And then let's take right here, stretch that tricep at the top, and then swing it back, and then switch. Tricep at the top, swing it. Kind of get a good hold, and then I like to extend, get that extra stretch right there. After you do that a few times, kind of shake it out a little bit. If you want to kind of shake your hands out, kind of work on your wrists here for a second again, that's fine. I don't know how tight your wrists are. Mine are always really tight. Next thing, let's start with small arm circles. You really want to make sure you're staying concentrated here. A lot of people will be like, that kind of stuff. No, arms straight. Really want to eliminate those degrees of freedom and just really work on the shoulder. Right there, so controlled, and then start to slowly widen. This should really be over maybe like between 5 to 10 seconds until you actually go from the small circles to the big circles, but then you kind of just let it go, and I like to go one at a time. Maybe 5 or 6, then go to the other arm. Always make sure you have a good base. Abs are tightened, you don't want to be swinging around like this, none of that. Now let's go backwards. Again, I like to kind of push my elbows up right there, hands up. Start small, start concentrated, really work those shoulders. You should get burned from this. This should definitely burn, especially if you're just starting to, get into, a solid warm up. Maybe it's not been part of your routine for a while. It will definitely burn. Of course, I like to just kind of work in a little bit of upward too. Let's just focus on the wrists and shoulders for now. So now what I like to do is really like to, obviously a lot of your things, you're gonna have your hands on the ground, right? Why wouldn't we actually stretch them when they're on the ground? Okay, so find a good place for your hands right here. Gross. You got right here, so your elbows are kind of bent. Rotate right there, so it's those elbows. So your elbows are out, like say you want to do, say a lot of people like to do their push-ups like this, that's not a good position. You want to be like that. Boom. So elbows, you want to rotate and kind of bring your weight forward on a little bit. You'll feel that stretch right there. Boom, give you a few of those. And then I like to keep your hands just like they are, just seriously, just rotate them right over. And when you're doing that, I like to just give it a little bit of finger movement right there, kind of make that musculature work when it's in that stretched. And again, you want to play with your forearms right here, or your elbows, I'm sorry. Rotate the elbow pits forward right there. Boom, and go back to that. Maybe do like 2 sets of that. Really rotate those elbows. I can't stress that enough. You want those elbow pits forward. Boom, now do that again, a few more seconds. Now we're gonna go bring it the other way. So let's put your palms down, fingers facing towards your body now. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of back up from it. We're just gonna pull straight back. Might be hard to see from this angle. What you do is you put your fingers towards you. Make sure all your fingers are touching the ground. You want your palm to be flat. You want to be able to have a good base. Like you should be able to hold yourself right there. And then let's just bring them straight back. And this, try to keep your, you know, the base of your hand right here on the ground as long as possible. As you rotate back, it's going to be okay if you want to lift that up a little bit and get that extra stretch on your fingers. And just right there. Ooh. It hurts too. And then, just like I said, just rotate straight up, boom, and you're right here. Maybe if you want to bring him in a little bit too, let's go towards right here. It's a little more comfortable, a little more friendly anatomically, I think. Boom, just rotate those fingers, you know, give you a little bit of this, and I feel it out, go from all angles. And that's pretty much my wrist and forearm, elbow, shoulder warm-up, you know, for those good workouts. Make sure you take care of yourself.